Okay everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're back on GT Sport and we're back with a track guide. This time we're at Dragon Trail on the new Lewis Hamilton DLC, and we're going to give you some pointers to make sure that you can get as close or achieve that diamond time as possible. We've managed to do quite a decent time here. It's not an ultimate time, but I've managed to do a lap that should be able to give you some pointers to get as many people as possible to get that diamond. Now obviously we're going to work our way through all these. I've also done Lego Major, which I'll do for another video. I've improved my time slightly on that, and we're going to bring out a guide for that hopefully either tomorrow or day after or over the next few days. We're going to work our way through all 10. We obviously started off at Willow Springs. Willow Springs is already out. We'll leave a link to that Willow Springs track guide at the end of this video. But for today, we're going to be going around Dragon Trail. Now, we've recently just done the top 16 Superstars race in Group 4. So the perfect time to really jump onto this track, even though it's in a different class of car. It's still, you're still in the rhythm of the track, so it kind of helped. Managed to do a reasonable time without pretty much not very much effort at all. So I'm going to point out every braking zone, every area where you can gain time, and try and get you as close as possible to achieving that diamond ranking as possible. Now I do understand this time trial probably isn't the hardest of all the time trials to actually achieve the diamond on, but I want to go through them from the start. Now we obviously did Willow Springs first, so we're now going to go in order all the way to the number 10. So we've got a full playlist of every single time trial diamond guide. So we're going to start this off and go through all the pointers, starting the lap here now. So what I've done straight away is you'll see that Lewis Hamilton's Ghost does start ahead of me because I set an offset, so he starts further up. We're going to turn him off every now and then. But going into this corner here, try and make sure you stay very tight to this apex. You can actually gain a very little bit of time by staying very tight to that. Then we're going to look for our first braking zone before the 150. I like to brake early. Now the reason for this is it just enables you to take a lot better line through this corner. You're going to see there, we're going to start aiming to get into apex, but look how much of the curb we use on the right hand side. Lewis Hamilton doesn't use hardly any, and this is going to enable me to take a much better line through this apex. You can see I can get my left hand tyre onto that curb, and now we're going to come off the throttle about there. This is important because if you come off the throttle here, it's going to enable the car to rotate, and with that rotation you can then get on the throttle a lot earlier. And what you're going to see here now is maximum power, and just watch that delta increase over Lewis Hamilton, making sure that you do not run any further wide than that, because if you do run outside onto that red bit of tarmac, you will lose control of the car. It bounces around and you lose a lot of time. But just look at the delta increasing massively because we got such a higher exit speed than Lewis Hamilton. Now going into this corner, just a little lift before you go in. I like to give that little lift just to give it a bit of a safety lift. And staying in fourth gear there, you're going to see we're going to brake pretty much as soon as our left hand tyre hits that curb on the left hand side, just to avoid running wide. Braking in a straight line there, using all the curb on the left hand side to widen the line into this right hand corner. And again, this is very important to get a strong exit from. So again, look at the lines that I'm taking here. I've gone in more narrow. You can see my throttle inputs are already going in. That's enabling me to take a tighter line and get on the throttle earlier than what Lewis Hamilton does, and gain so much more speed up that hill. You can see the delta increasing here for more. Now we're going into this very fast, really flowing section. This is where it's important to carry speed. At this point, we're going to put a bit of braking inputs in here. We're going to go down to fourth gear, and we're going to try and get our car to stay very close to that curb on the left hand side. Just look at our left hand tyre almost touching the edge of the apex there. Very nicely done there. And then on the throttle, the little lift of throttle going into this right hand corner you're going to see here now. Again, that's going to give the rotation to the front. Just a little bit of rotation lift just helps ease that front end into the apex a bit better, and then we can go back on the throttle maximum. And again, we're going to do it very similar, just a little lift off the throttle here. Again, that's just going to make sure that the car does not understeer wide going over the top of the hill. And what you see then, maximum throttle all the way out now, and you can see we don't run all the way out onto that red bit. And again, if you do that, it can lose you quite a bit of time. And look at that delta, half a second up already on Lewis Hamilton's lap. Now we're hitting the brakes pretty much dead on the 150 board. I like to brake again a little bit early. I actually braked probably a little bit too late, if anything, at this time. As we approach the 50 board, we're going to start turning in now. Trying to get our right hand tyre to clip onto this apex of this curb here. You see how I actually missed it. Look at that massive bit of space where the apex was. I would have liked to have got a little bit tighter to that to get on the power a little bit early. You see how I had to be hesitant on the power. But what I do is manage to carry the speed. I upshift the third gear and we use all the track on the left hand side and just about get away with keeping the power down. So we probably lost about a tenth or so there, But like I say, if you want to really optimize that, you want to get your right hand tire to clip the apex of that curve, and then flat out all the way up to this point before giving it a lift. Just before that overhead bridge thing, you just lift off the throttle a little bit here, and that's going to enable the weight to transfer. And again, just as we go into the apex, I'm very aggressive for this. You do not need to be as aggressive as I am. I lift off the throttle just to help the weight transfer, and then we're going to get as close to the walls as possible. Just look how close we get on the right hand side. That is pushing how you don't need to get that close to get the diamond time, but obviously I'm pushing to get as much speed out of this lap as possible within a shorter time as possible. Then into the braking zone, we're braking in between the 150 and the 100 board there. You can see the braking inputs going in, and we're going to go down into second gear, taking quite a tight line into this apex. You're going to see there I actually hold it here and then take quite a late apex. This enables me to get on the power very early. You'll see throttle inputs already going in there, maximum throttle now, and we don't need to lift back off the throttle all the way to the exit using the full width of the track. And then at this point you want to just cut this little bit here, just shortens the line ever so slightly, and over the line for a 1 minute 36.2.
No way.
Now like I say, I think we could probably get that time down to a 35.9 if I was to really push it, 35.8, something like that. But I feel like a 36.2 with the help that I hope you can take from this video, you should be able to improve your time and get yourself that diamond time. So let's have a little look at it from the chase camera and see how it looks. Going into turn 1 here, you see you're very close to using all that curb, and that little lift enables you to get the maximum speed. And look at that, almost inch perfect on the exit there. Really nailed that, got the car all the way over to the left, carried the speed through the corner, that little lift off the throttle there. And again, using the curb, it's very important to use as much curb as possible to widen your lines into these corners. That is one of the reasons why this is quite an easy time to beat, because Lewis Hamilton tends not to use some of the curbs. He's kept his car pretty much all within the white lines, whereas if you watch him in real life driving an F1 car, he will use every little inch of the track to get as much time out of it as possible. Obviously not aware of what he could use in terms of track limits, so that's where you can gain a little bit of time by using them curbs. The curbs are obviously very wide on this track. You'll see again using the curb on the entry into the corner, missing that apex. You can see how that hindered our lap a little bit there. We had to kind of square it off quite late. We did manage to get the power down, however I think I lost at least a tenth on that corner. So there is time to be gained on this lap, probably about a tenth or two at least, maybe squeezing a 35.8 or 35.9 out of it. But absolutely flew through the chicane of death, as we call it. Very close towards. You do not need to get that close. You can take that a little bit safer than what I did, and you can still get that diamond time. But again, look how we take this very late apex. That enables me to stay on the throttle all the way to the exit and carry the speed all the way to the finishing line, and we go over for a fairly solid lap. As you can see, a 1 minute 36.2. So we'll again, I'll let you watch it now at full speed without any obviously pausing and stopping it, just so you can actually see the flow of it driving from the gameplay view that I use without any pausing, etc. And you can see just how smooth you need to be. And one thing I would really advise is that really is so important to brake early on this combination. Braking early and concentrating on your exit speeds, because like turn 1 you got uphill, and then this corner here, because it's an uphill bit of acceleration, if you carry more speed it really helps your time, because you just get more momentum, and then more momentum all the way down into this braking area. Again, you see how early I'll lift off the throttle, because I like to make sure that I hit that apex and get the car rotated into these corners. And again, it's not always the most important thing to carry as much speed through them corners as possible. Sometimes taking a nicer line, a smoother line, without having to lift off as much can actually get you quite a good time. So if you're just wanting to get that diamond time, try and be as smooth as possible. You see, you can really see how I brake a little bit late there and hinder the lap slightly, but we do get away with it with quite good exit speed. And through this section I did get this quite nicely done. You'll see how I did risk it quite a lot, getting very close to both walls there. That was pushing your luck a little bit. I got away with that. I don't think I'd do that in a race situation, but this is a time trial, so you can push through there as much as you like. But just remember, if you're on a decent lap, you don't need to do that. You can still get that diamond time with quite a little bit of time spare. You only need a 1 minute 37.1 basically. It's 37.094. So you know, there's quite a lot of time to play with round here, and I think that you'll be able to get it without pushing the limits too far on the chicane of death. Anyway, I hope this track guide has helped you out. Let me know in the comment section if it has helped you, if you've already got the gold. A lot of people probably already have the diamond, but there'll be some people probably that still have not got the diamond that this might help out. Anyway, Hope you all get that diamond. Let me know, and also subscribe to the channel with the link on the screen, and also the link for the Lewis Hamilton time trial at Willow Springs is on the screen now. So thanks again for watching, everyone.